God's plan brings hope and not details. Second and finally is I worked for like an hour trying to figure out how to better phrase this, and I'm just quoting Mary. Behold, I am the servant of the Lord. What an attitude. What a perspective. What a thought that when we are faced with this uncertainty, when we understand that God is drawing us towards something greater through his plan, that we can say, God, I don't know all the answers, but I'm your servant. She uses this word a couple times in Luke 1. Later on during the Magnificat that we had talked about, she says it again. It's very clear. Mary understood. She says, God, I've got a role to play here, because what's most important is not what I want, but what you're doing. And when we get the opportunity to be a part of that, in particular for all of us, we've been invited to be a part of God's plan in the Great Commission. But even just as Christians who have trusted in Jesus, we understand that the greatest role that we can play in our life, the purpose of our lives, is to fulfill his plan and not to achieve whatever goals we're setting for ourselves. If we can say, God, I am your humble servant, it's going to pave the way for a lot of peace and joy as we then experience the blessing of God that he brings to us from his grace, not because we have done something good, but because he wants to continue to see us walk, as Mary did, forward in his plan. So this morning, as we look at the story of Mary, we see somebody who saw her role. She was going to be the virgin that Isaiah spoke about. She was going to endure ridicule, but she was also going to be the mother of God. And though she is not maybe as deserving of worship as the Catholic Church would lead us to believe, we do believe that she is worthy to be respected as a great example of somebody whose faith is to be admired and emulated. She was a servant of the Lord, and so